When you start Word for the first time, typically what you're going to see upon opening it up is a start screen. Go ahead and click on a blank document, go to File, down to Options, and then in the General category, go down to Startup Options and then deselect Show the Start Screen when this application starts. Click OK, and then go ahead and close out of Word. Now, whenever you open up Word, guess what? It goes automatically to the blank document. For some of the other features that I have set up in Word already, what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on File, go down to Options, and then over the next few seconds, I'm going to slowly click through the different categories and some other features just so that way you can compare what I have on my Word setup to what you have on your Word setup. Another thing you want to make sure that you're doing is saving as a macro-enabled document, or .docm. By default, Word saves documents in the .docx format. That's fine, but honestly, you owe it to yourself to start practicing how to use macros. So make sure that the .docm Word macro-enabled document is selected. Also, make sure that your auto recovery information is saved every 5 minutes, and set up a simple or easy location for you to save these files. That way you know where they are just in case you need to reference them for some reason. And when it comes to formally saving files, I prefer to have Word directly referred to my desktop. I can always move files to specific folder locations, but the desktop is pretty easy. From here, I want you to go to Proofing and then Autocorrect Options. The autocorrect feature in Word has a lot of functionality. Not only does it correct misspelled words as you type, but you can also call in certain symbols that are difficult to locate through the Symbols menu. We're going to spend a lot of time working with the autocorrect feature in Word, but for now, I want to point out where all this autocorrect information is stored in your computer. If you go to Windows Explorer, and in the address bar, type in the following address: %app data /Microsoft /Office. Enter. At the bottom, you'll see these different files down here. These are your .acl files. These are their autocorrect list files. And what these do is store information about various autocorrect list information. Of these files, you'll probably want to make note of at least these two. The MSO 0127 contains all of your math autocorrect settings, and the MSO 1033 stores all other autocorrect settings. So as you add or otherwise modify your autocorrect settings in Word or Excel, these files will be updated with those changes. If you don't like the autocorrect settings in these files, you can always delete them or move them away from this folder. Microsoft Office will automatically create brand new .acl files with the original default settings the moment you open up Word, Excel, or any other Office application. When we modify a Word document, we are actually going to invoke several different commands. So for example, if I type a word, if I select that word, and if I format that word, each one of those procedures was actually a command. To give you an idea about those different commands and how Word performs them, I'm going to re-perform those procedures, but this time I'm going to actually record them as a macro. So let me go ahead and delete the word. Let me set my formatting back to normal. Let me retype the word, select the word, and format the word, and go ahead and stop my macro. If we go inside the VBA editor window, we can see all the different commands that were invoked. So the first one was the deletion of the word. The second command was the resetting of the bold formatting back to normal. Then there was the typing of the word, the selection of the word, and the bolding of that word. Each one of those was a command that went on behind the scenes. Microsoft knows that most of the time we are only concerned about formatting commands, so they created this ribbon at the top of the screen to help sort out the most popular commands. Within the ribbon you see all these different tabs. This is the way that Microsoft organizes all the different commands by certain features or functions. And within each one of these tabs you have a further categorization by different groups, such as clipboard, font, and paragraph. So within each one of these different groups you see individual sets of commands. Now, while these commands appear as kind of cute little icons and drop-down buttons, their appearance is, well, rather irrelevant. They are just various commands arranged in a way that makes them easier to invoke or put into action. To see a list of these commands, do the following. Go to File, Options, and then go down to the Customize Ribbon category. On the left side of the screen you'll see various commands, and in this case they are organized by popularity. To see all the commands, do the following. Click this drop down button and then select all commands. What you see now are all the commands that are available within Word, and this list will be particularly useful to you when you start to set up your own shortcut keystrokes and your quick access toolbar, which we will discuss later. On the right side of the screen you see how these commands are organized into different tabs and, even more specifically, into different groups. So for example, the Home tab has the various groups that we saw earlier. For instance, the clipboard group, the font group, the paragraph group, and you can see that the order of these groups, top to bottom, determine how they appear in the ribbon from left to right. If you expand these different groups, for instance the font group, here you'll see all the different commands that appear in the ribbon. So for instance, the font command is derived from the list of all commands. So if you click on one of the various commands and you hit F, you can scroll down and find the different font commands that have been inserted over into the main tab's ribbon. You can also see that these individual commands also may have different expandable features, such as the underline command. Here you can see that when you expand this command, there are other more specific types of commands that you can invoke. So when we go back to the Home tab and go into the font group, you can see the underline command right here also has this drop-down feature, and there are the additional subcommands within that feature. You will also see a narrower row of icons either above or below the ribbon. This is called the Quick Access toolbar. For me, it shows here below the ribbon. This is where you can insert commands that you access regularly. The benefit of this Quick Access toolbar is that you don't have to search through all the different tabs to find the specific command that you use on a regular basis. To access the list of commands within the Quick Access toolbar, do one of the following. Click the drop-down button here that appears just to the right of the last command in the toolbar. Then select More Commands. This takes you to the Options screen, which, by the way, also can be accessed through File, Options, and then clicking Quick Access Toolbar. Similar to the Customize Ribbon category we saw earlier, The Quick Access toolbar has on the left side the list of commands sorted by popularity. To the right, you see the list of commands that have already been included in the Quick Access toolbar. You won't be able to see these on the left-hand side for inclusion on the right-hand side. Notice how the appearance top to bottom corresponds to the listing you see in the toolbar from left to right. Towards the bottom of the screen, you'll see this blue line. It's the status bar, and I think a lot of people take this feature for granted because there are a lot of cool features on here, such as the zoom feature as well as the page layout feature, which currently appears on print layout, so you can see the margins and the overall view of the page for printing. You may also see, when you open up Word, this navigation pane. Now, the purpose of the navigation pane is to make certain portions of your document more easily accessible. So if you have headings or certain pages within your document, you can jump to them very quickly. Another feature of this navigation pane is that this is the place you go to by default to search for words or phrases in your document. Later on, I'll show you how to use this navigation pane as well as the status bar to your advantage when you start taking notes. Now that you have Microsoft Office Word set up on your computer, what I'm going to do is show you how to replace Word's default template with my template so that you have access to the styles, shortcut keystrokes, macros, and autocorrect options that I use when I take notes. I'm also going to show you how to import my ribbon preferences and my quick access toolbar set up so that you have easy access to certain commands that I use on a regular basis. Right now, what I want you to do is go ahead and close Word and any other Microsoft applications that you may have open, and then go ahead and open up Windows Explorer. When you get to Windows Explorer, go ahead and maximize that and go to the address bar, type in app data with the percentage signs before and after it, and then \Microsoft \templates. Enter. This is the location for most of the Microsoft Office applications default templates, and if you see here, the normal template is a macro enabled template. That's what I have chosen. That's what hopefully you have also chosen on your setup. This is what Microsoft Word refers to whenever it opens up a new blank document. So everything you see in a blank document here is referring to this normal template. So what I want you to do is go ahead and, again, make sure that you're out of any Microsoft Office applications. They're all closed down. And then I want you to click on this file until you get the editing feature available, and then type in something like, I don't know, default, and then hit enter. Now what's going to happen is Word is going to look for the normal template, but right here you have changed it to the normal ~default template. So it's going to ignore this template, and because it doesn't see another normal template, it's just going to create one from scratch. What we're going to do is copy in my template into this folder and change the title to read just normal. So locate the files that I have asked you to download. In my case, I've already have them available. Here they are, the normal, BWS template, and there's also this QAT, BWS .exported UI file as well. What I want you to do is copy this normal BWS template and hit Control C. Go into the folder where you see the normal templates, the regular templates, and hit Control V, and paste it. There it is. Go ahead and rename this as just normal. Hit enter. Now, whenever you open up Microsoft Word from now on, it's this template and the features inside of it, i.e. my specific styles and autocorrect features, etc., that you're going to see the next time you open up Word. So let's go ahead and open up Microsoft Word. At the very top here, you see that the styles are vastly different from the default template we just had earlier. And embedded in this document are also shortcut keystrokes, autocorrect options, and even macros that are based off of my template or the template that you just imported into this folder. There's one other feature that you're going to need to update. So go back to Word and go to File, Options, and then in the navigation pane click Quick Access Toolbar. Go down to the button in the bottom right where it says Import Export, click it, and then hit Import Customization File. Go ahead and locate where you saved the normal template in the QAT file that you downloaded. Select the QAT, BWS file, and then click Open. Do you want to replace existing ribbon in QAT? Absolutely. And then click OK. Now you see in the Quick Access Toolbar there are a ton of commands in there that are based off of, again, my template that I use when I take notes. So whenever you close down Microsoft Word and you reopen it again, you're going to see all those customizations in the Quick Access Toolbar as well as the styles. And behind there you will also see the macros, you'll have the autocorrect options and the shortcut keys. And we're going to get into that later on. But for right now, your Word is now set up and ready to go.